All right. All right. Hello, everybody. This is going to be an informational type class for dealing with quarantine with a disability. So I'm going to go ahead and start this. So who am I? My name is Justin.Koop. I was born here in Texas near the Gulf Coast. Around 6 years old, I was diagnosed with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Uh, some of my favorite activities include playing video games, which is actually something I'll touch on here, and enjoying food. I love food. All right, so let's get down to the presentation. So right now, if you relied on a personal care attendant, you have the option to stop services, or they can keep providing services, but I believe most people have stopped their services if they were able to. So that means that you will be relying on family and close friends for support sometimes. And it's just important that uh, you teach them how to help you safely and effectively, safe for themselves also, as far as transfers go. Um, if they are not used to helping you, just be patient with them. Try to show them or tell them how you need to be moved, and they will most likely be happy to help you. So don't be afraid to ask for help or anything. Now, if you don't have anybody during these times and you've stopped services to prevent spreading, um, you can call 211.org or dial 211, sorry, or go to their website at 211.org. This is a government site that can offer you help if you are desperate. Um, Hopefully, I hate to imagine anyone is in that situation, but it happens, that's life. Um, Here are a few links that may be able to help you. Uh, these links include like independent living centers who could also help you during this time if you have no one to help you at all. And then I have a link here for safer transfers. Uh, it's a PDF. I recommend you give this to anyone that will be helping you for this indefinite amount of time. Um, Also, managing stress is going to be important because you need to stay as healthy as you can, right? And stress can reduce your immune system function, possibly. So there's that. I will post these in the description also, so you don't have to remember them. If you live in the Houston area, there's also this link here, and they can assist you in a few ways. Okay, so as most of us with disabilities are more at risk to sickness with more compromised immune systems and respiratory function, it's important to be as healthy as we can. So if you have to go out for anything, like to fill a prescription or anything like that, just try your best to avoid exposure. Wear a mask. Uh, Also gloves if you think that's necessary. However, with gloves, I would just keep in mind that you cannot touch anything else once you have touched something that possibly has been exposed with your gloves. So do not touch your face or anything like that. And if you have to touch any other object, you have to change your gloves, like your phone or anything like that, or else you risk cross contamination, which we do not want. Uh, Keeping your body as healthy as you can. Uh, Now, obviously, like if we have disabilities, right? So it's not going to be completely healthy, but you can improve your body function by eating balanced meals, staying hydrated, and sleeping enough. Not oversleeping, however. A well hydrated and rested body can help keep you from getting sick. And we need the help, right? So one thing that this is a personal thing, I find that keeping my mind clear from negativity uh, with the current situation is very important also. I think, for me at least, I think having a clear mind just is all around healthier, right? Um, Clear of negativity, I should say. Uh, Getting clean air outside is, I'm sure you guys have heard that, but that is very helpful during these times. Just fresh air, not breathing recycled air all day in your house. So, one thing I thought of that I actually have not seen touched on a ton in popular media is staying entertained, right? So, you need to stay entertained during these times because that's a great way to manage stress as well, because it takes your mind off of the situation you're in. Um, there are tons of forms of entertainment, free and pay based, and I just kind of want to bring some of those up to you guys. I'm sure you've heard of some of these. Um, so, as far as free entertainment goes, and education, I should say, for me at least, I find educating myself on subjects I find interesting to be pretty entertaining to me. So that would include, for me at least, that would include history and geology based stuff because I just find that's very interesting. And there's a ton, like YouTube has many forums and channels that just dedicate to a specific subject that you can educate yourself on, right? That's and that's great. There's also Khan Academy if it's more school-based subjects. Some people I find that entertaining as well, and Khan Academy is also useful if you are trying to finish up your schooling right now. Like, let's say you're a senior in high school and this is your last few days. Um, that can help you if you ever struggle with something because you your options for help are limited right now. Now, there are a few things you can pay for that are actually education based. These include Masterclass, Babbel, and Audible. I actually don't believe that Audible is a paid membership. It may be. I don't remember if you buy the books individually. Uh, so Masterclass, that is a class-based service, and you can learn about pretty much anything. A few examples I've seen in ads include cooking, tons of different types of cooking, not just like a generalized cooking class. And I've seen a advertisement for a writing class, and all of these classes are being taught by individuals that are very skilled in the classes they are teaching. Um, Babbel is a program you can use to learn a language. So our vacations may have been cut short, but if you're going abroad or you just want to learn a new language to pass the time, uh, this is a great option for that. And then, of course, there's Audible, which is uh, the sharing of audiobooks online. It's pretty great. I used it when I was attending classes in college a few times, and I enjoyed that. Uh, Now, if you don't have access to Audible, um, or you cannot afford to use Audible right now, um, there's even just regular books. Uh, I think Texas may be opening up libraries soon, or they have already. Um, and I would just say maybe get someone else or take extra precautions if you are going to a library to pick up a book, and maybe let it sit untouched on a surface you don't hang out around often for a few days, just for precautionary reasons. So that's another option. I find gaming a really effective way to keep your mind off of things. This is it's really great for that. Um, some people may not be able to use a regular controller or keyboard and mouse. So I do have some adaptive equipment that I'm going to show towards the end of this after this page. And there's some really helpful and cool stuff out there. And some of these adaptive things don't even have to be used for gaming. You can use them for anything computer based, uh, and it's really cool. Some of these things, however, can be a bit pricey. I'm sure you guys can find ways to pay for this. I have one recommendation for you, and that is the Able Gamers Foundation. It's a Facebook group, and I would just recommend contacting them and just seeing if they can provide some assistance. If not, I it may be tough to get insurance to justify paying for that. So best of luck to you guys on that. There is now I covered controllers and stuff. Now you guys want to hear about at least one game, right? So there is a game called Tabletop Simulator, and it's basically a way for people to port video or board games, sorry, into video game form. And you can play online with your friends and family because we are not able to be among each other right now. And so it's a good way to keep in touch with your friends and entertain yourself uh, without exposure. So that's a very cool game also. Okay, onto the adaptive equipment that I touched on a little bit. So here we have the Xbox adaptive controller. Now they have a surface on the top with just more adaptable buttons that you don't have to wrap your hands around a controller or anything. And what's really cool about this is it works on both PC and Xbox. There are ways to get it to work on every console, however, you have to go a little more in depth with further hardware that you will have to buy, emulators, stuff like that. We'll keep that for a later time. The real selling point of this controller is on the back. You see these holes on the back here. These are 3.5 millimeter jacks, which is exactly what an earphone would use to plug into a phone. Those are 3.5 millimeter. And what's cool about this is you can program any button to any switch. And on the left of the slide right here are some adaptive switches. There's a on-off button or push button here, this yellow button. It's very easy to press, and you can stick it wherever you need to on your chair or on any surface you're using. And that's really great. So even if you have like very limited, like just finger movement, that's a great switch. It's a great switch option. Now, if you are completely limited in your movement, there is a sip puff switch here. This is it's really cool. I've actually seen a video of someone driving with a similar switch to this, which I like controlling the throttle, and I think that is insane, but really cool at the same time. Um, I believe this also comes with a 3.5 millimeter port, so that could be something that could be used, applied, if you will, to this controller. So I will go more in depth on that in a later presentation. I have one more thing I want to introduce you guys to, and that is the Head Mouse Nano. If you cannot control your mouse, uh, or if you are limited, right, you can use this, which it basically tracks your head or eye movement, and it transfers that into cursor movement on a computer. So even when I brought up this gaming stuff, you said, "Oh, I can't do that because I can't effectively use the controls on a computer." Well, between the head mouse and the adaptive controller, I think you could find a way to use a computer just like everyone else, and that is awesome to me. Um, I hope some of you find that helpful as well, some of this information. That is the end of the presentation. Here are all of the ways that you can contact us. Just take a mental note of that or write it down, whatever you need to do. And I will be happy to help you. Um, that is all I have for you. Our next presentation will be on, or more in depth on, assistive technology, and that's going to be a really cool presentation, and I hope you guys can attend that. All right, guys. Thank you.